The girls were already screaming into the Panama jungle by midnight after hearing footsteps circle them in the darkness without ever coming closer. Weeks later, investigators recovered their camera filled with nighttime photos, and in several images, one of the girls appeared to be staring at something just beyond the reach of the flash. On the Pianista Trail that afternoon, Chris laughed while Lizanne photographed the narrow jungle path disappearing behind the hills, both believing they still had enough daylight to return before evening. After crossing beyond the final overlook, shown in their last normal photographs, the trail gradually narrowed into unfamiliar jungle neither of them remembered passing earlier. Late afternoon, deeper along the trail, Chris stopped after realizing the path beneath them no longer matched the direction shown in Lizanne's recent photos. Every attempt to turn back led them into the same wet slopes, tangled roots, and streams hidden beneath the thick canopy. At dusk near a stream, Lizanne repeatedly dialed emergency services, while Chris climbed higher searching for signal, but each call failed within seconds. As darkness settled through the jungle, both women began noticing that every sound around them seemed farther away than it should have been, including their own voices. That night beside the riverbank, Chris used the camera flash after hearing movement somewhere across the water. The flash revealed only wet rocks and dense vegetation, yet both girls became unsettled by the feeling that somebody had stepped away the moment the light appeared. Near midnight beneath an embankment, the girls gathered plastic wrappers and branches into small markers after realizing they had somehow returned to the same clearing multiple times. Lizanne quietly admitted she could no longer tell whether the river sounds were moving closer to them or farther away. Moments later in the same area, the jungle suddenly became silent enough for both women to hear their own breathing echo through the trees. Chris tried speaking normally to calm Lizanne, but her voice sounded strangely distant, as though it were coming from somewhere deeper, inside the forest, instead of beside her. After midnight deeper in the jungle, Lizanne struggled to keep walking, while Chris supported her across slippery rocks and narrow slopes. Each time the camera flash lit the trees ahead, Chris briefly thought she saw someone standing farther down the trail, before realizing the photographs showed nothing there afterward. Later that night near a cluster of boulders, the girls began taking repeated flash photographs into the darkness, after hearing movement circling around them, beyond the trees. With every new flash, the surrounding jungle appeared slightly different from moments earlier, as though they had been unknowingly walking in circles, without moving at all. Shortly before dawn near the river crossing, Lizanne woke after hearing Chris softly responding to somebody in the darkness. When she asked who Chris was talking to, Chris admitted she thought she heard Lizanne calling her name from somewhere deeper in the jungle, even though Lizanne had been beside her the entire time. Weeks later near the downstream riverbanks, search teams recovered the girls' backpack containing water-damaged phones, folded clothes, and a camera filled with nighttime photographs taken during their final hours. Most images showed only darkness and wet branches, but investigators could never explain why nearly every photograph had been aimed toward the same unseen point beyond the flash. When investigators arranged the nighttime photographs in the exact order they were taken, they realized the girls had not been photographing random parts of the jungle at all, because with every new flash, the camera was aimed slightly higher toward the trees above them, as if throughout the night they were tracking something, slowly descending closer into view. If you had been trapped in that jungle and saw the camera flashes revealing something getting closer above you with every photograph, would you have kept taking pictures or stopped looking entirely? Follow and share for more true horror stories that were never fully explained.